Never mind me while I'm stepping out my circumference. I feel the nerves trickling down. It's life humbling. My words stutter, stumbling, staggered, I'm caught off guard. This the life of a jigaboo, introverted, I'm scarred. Whoa, my murder been the melodies while they sing the choruses. Direct message from slaves saying we need more of it. Paranoia in my state, I see envy at high rates. Now it's crop off the fate, turn great so I fly straight. Was gone for a minute, now I'm back like an ex with big factors. I see you turn flat like extinct like some raptors. When I drop through prayer, precision, practice and patience, we move to greener pastures. They're saying life is a matter of mastering basics and mastering patience. More time I get tired of waiting. Maybe it's fate procrastinating. The times are bad, sure it really had me sprung. Like she got me doing things that I never do. You thought that we connected when in fact it was trauma bonding. Just leave it up to me to break the rules, never corresponding. My childhood filled with fence climbs and knee scrapes and bikes and kicking it by the street signs. The older I get, I'm trying to lessen any screen time. The bounce back heavy, I rock steady on climb. This world's a fucking loop, the news will pick and choose whatever truth they wanna give to you. I cannot stomach it, so I poop. Oops. When life turns sweeter, the lemon mouths get louder. But I'm amplified with ghosts from God like that boy Fowler. Working like I got that point to prove. But truth be told, the proof is right in the pudding, no point to lose. 60 for the crepes, yeah, I did that just because. She expecting more, girl, you know I'm saving up. Left me on red, well, it was what it was. Never stress over them joints or in downs when times get rough, so I ghost. Long are the days when we was close, and when I see you, it's like two completely different type of ghosts. I approach the weekly fire dropping, which I'm feeding. Still, I don't expect to be the one. Your boy having fun. Still, the songs get spun like Beyblades and teacups. My fun fair to those that ever really know me from jump. So what's up, I've been the one they all depended on like TJ. Now they're dead wilder than a furry knockout punch, leaving them straight stunned. That's hella fun. Now you know I'm coming through. When the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep fitting in love.
How's it going, people? Guys, you know the vibes, you know the tires. It's G. We are back in the building. Haven't done a live stream for a very, very long time, but I said this was a topic you guys can, of course, see in the description. If you've been there on Spaces, you've also heard the agendas from someone on the screen as we speak. In fact, no, two people on the screen. We're here to talk today about Mohamed Salah. Are Liverpool better off without Mohamed Salah? Is Mohamed Salah the exception to the rule of performances over stats? Of course, I had to bring the guys with me to have this little debate this evening. Guys, Enz, Kwasi, Ben, thank you for joining me this evening. How are you all doing, man?
All good,
big
bro.
up, man. All good, all good.
Good, man.
Let me even change this. Ben, I appreciate, of course, this is the first time Ben's, of course, been on the channel as well. So love and blessings for jumping on this evening. Of course, Enz and Kwasi. I had to put them there down at the bottom because, as you guys will already know, if you've been here on the Spaces, you've heard the agenda from Enz. And I've heard Kwasi a couple of times jump into Enz's defense. So I said, you know what? You guys come in, talk your stuff, man. Talk your stuff. Big up everybody who is inside at the moment. Let me go through the comments real quick. Big up H, big up my bro, big up Assad. G, where you been? Bro's been slack. I know, I apologize. I've had some technical issues, but now I am, of course, back in the bill. Then big up Honesty again with the news. Liverpool offered 128 million for Federico Valverde through intermediaries, and the offer is still on the table. Valverde is considered a dream for Liverpool. They have followed the midfielder for years.
Sauce, Heinz ketchup.
Fair enough. Hey, big up Ben. I live free in your head. I saw the exchange. Big up Kwasi. And big up Kwasi, of course, in the building. Honestly saying Salah, a very good, but this BS of not tracking back, and you have Szoboszlai doing that work for you, which takes away from Szoboszlai's game. I'm gonna throw this one straight away, we're going to just dive straight into it. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I'm going to throw this one to Ends first and foremost, because I want you to give me a little explanation. You know, we me and you speak all the time. So I kind of already know, but this is just more for the people, and we now have you on record as saying this properly here. First of all, what's your beef with Mohamed Salah? I think we all need. What's the beef? Because for a little while now, you've been speaking about Salah. I've kept quiet. I've not said anything. You've spoken. He was away, of course, at AFCON, and then, of course, he picked up that injury. Liverpool, of course, played in that time. We won all the games. We scored all those goals. Really, really good football. Fluent, blah, 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 and all this other kind. Explain to everybody here on the panel and in the chat, what's your beef with Salah?
Don't listen. I don't have beef with Salah, man. I just notice things. I've decided not to say nothing for a minute. I tried to fight his case and say we should have moved him into the 10. I don't know if you remember the stream when I was trying to push that one ages ago. Because I was like, bro, he's not offering us nothing out wide. And game after game, where the fullback or that right-hand side is suffering a lot defensively, not from an attacking standpoint, defensively, because he's not tracking back. It means the right-sided 8 his job role is slightly different. You know, when the fullback decides to go, it just leaves a massive gap, and team just keeps isolating and punishing us in those moments. I'll give you a prime example. Against Brighton, obviously, he cuts inside, gets the ball. He's trying to find a pass. No problem with that. It's what happens after that I didn't like, because Bradley's moving that inside forward move. You know, I think it was Sobo. He was trying to push forward, looking for that pass on the overs. And then Mo hits the player, and Mo's first reaction is, let me try and stick a leg out and try and win the ball back from the guy. When he doesn't win the ball back from the guy, he literally just does some slow jog while I'm seeing McAllister, I'm seeing Bradley, I'm seeing everyone sprinting their ass to get back. And this guy I'm just going to take my time. As soon as we conceded a goal, if you looked at the replay, throws his hands in the air, his head back. I'm like, big man, you should have trapped the guy. You lost the ball and you decided to just stick a leg out and allow Manning to just go. But what happened is he gets us the winning goal. So no one cares about that. No one cares about the 11 shots he had and not passing to his teammates. While everyone else Gakpo's getting stick, Diaz is getting stick, everyone in the team's getting stick. Sobo gives him 2 chances he should have buried in. He didn't do that. So these 3 guys I just mentioned is getting a hell of a stick from the fan base. But because I know how the fan base minds are, they only think about GA. A lot of them will pretend they don't, but I know. For instance, Gakpo come on last night. I think he's been decent. Because he added the goal to it, all of a sudden, oh my days, how well was Gakpo? But I've seen those performances without the goals, and I never see you guys say that. But Mo has the ability to give his teammates those moments and chooses not to. Darwin should have 2 goals against Brighton. Square it up to him. No, he decides I want to smash the 2 shots over the crossbar. Don't care about that. He's stat padding at the moment, bro. We don't have the team for that. We need guys that's going to be accounted for, not only defensively, but also in the attack. And yes, all the stupid conversation, oh, but he scores goals and he gets assists. All right, cool. Great. But at the same time, defensively, we look frail because this man don't want to track back. He doesn't want to defend. So we're just going to play this style. I noticed when he went away to AFCON and when he was injured, how fluid and balanced the team looked. I could promise you no one here was sitting there going, I'm worried defensively. I'm worried this. No one kept, everyone was just like, nah, the team just look cold, bro. We just look good. Balanced, we're attacking, we're killing teams, they look fluid. Midfielders interchanging, everyone's getting goals, everyone's chipping in. But obviously Mo's back in it. Mo's first game he came back, he started running into everyone's his way and that.
Didn't he score on his game back against
Everton? But man, them had to tell him to get out their way, bro. I told you, I pay attention, not just with the GA. I told you that would be the convo. He got on the goal and an assist when he came back, but that's always going to be the convo. Oh yeah, but he scored and bro, he still
that's his job. That's always been his job. His job is never to, been to look pretty. And I hear the defensive side of things. And you're right to some extent, because when he went off yesterday, I think we did play better. But ultimately, your best player, one of the best players we've ever had, certainly for forwards, I'm sorry, but you find a way to make him score goals, and then the rest of the team, you decide what they're going to do. Your best player, I'm not saying Salah should dictate what we do and how we set up, but it's never been an issue for 6 or 7 years under Klopp with Salah. No one's ever said, oh, Salah doesn't do this, Salah doesn't do that, oh, we look worse when Salah plays. That's never been an issue. It's only been a question now. And the AFCON thing, that's only, a space of a month. So we're looking at a month compared to 7 years. Really, and for the 7 years, for the most part, there's never been a bad word said about Mo Salah.
No, but here's the issue. I've said this, but because when I've said it, no one. It's like just I brought it up. Like no, I don't think he plays well.
It's Salah. That's what it is. Like people don't want it. Yeah, I
no one wants to hear the conversation.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I it's not like I'm saying he's not good enough, because one of the comments from one of the shows I did was like, "Oh, we saying you hate Salah?" I'm like, bro, I don't hate Salah, bro. He's one of the best ever.
It comes across that way, by the way. Just letting you know.
But because we're in a team now, the team is looking to the evolution of the team means we don't necessarily now need a talisman as such. I think the team we've got so many good players jotted around. It's not like before, and I'm not gonna knock the old midfield. It's not like Genie, Henderson, and Fab. It was just the engine room. We've now got players now in that midfield, your Sobos, your McAllisters, that can, your Curtis's now as well. He stood up this season, where you can rely, Harvey, you can rely upon these boys for, goals and assists and creation in the team. It's, we're off that point now where we just solely rely on Robbo and Trent for our assists. We don't have a team like that no more. Yes, it's great to have them and they can chip in where they can. The midfielders now, all of our attacking lineup, they've all scored over 10 goals as well. Like all of everyone's chipping in this season, so we don't necessarily need a guy that's going to score 30 goals. What we do need, though, is a guy that's going to be able to create a lot more. And I'm not saying he hasn't, but we need someone that's going to beat their fullback for one, and we need someone that's going to be defensively sound as well. But we can't just have a team where we're just going to have just one man. He's going to stay up there. He's going to not come back. Whenever there's moments to defend, he's going to choose not to. He's just going to run around and pretend he's doing it. It's like I look at Rashford the other day, last night for Man United. This man was just jogging around after players, bro. The light jog. I've seen that their fan base cooking him, but us Mo do it all the time. And I know everyone's going to turn around and tell, but Mo scores goals. All right, cool, bro. But at the same time, it's more work for everyone else. When one man in your team is not doing enough, it's more work for everyone defensively. And that's the issue I have. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say in regards to that, and Ben and Kwasi, I'd love to get your takes on what Enz has said. But haven't we been doing that, though? Like, since he kind of first joined, really? Maybe I would even say possibly after the first season when he had that kind of freak of a season. And to be honest, I say freak, but he's been consistent throughout. But in terms of the amount of goals and assists he got in that season, but goals specifically, we kind of realized, okay, this is our talisman. But we still had the Firminos, we still had the Sadio Manes who would do the chipping in, so to speak. Are we not in a place where now, because we have better depth, so we've got the 5 forwards, whereas before we literally had 3, and Shaqiri, Minaminos, Origis, who just weren't really up to the level of a Salah, Mane, and Firmino. Now we're in a space where we've actually got all players kind of on the same level, bar obviously Salah being on his own level, but they're all on the same level now. So don't you think that was always going to be a natural thing where players would start chipping in anyway, because they're all on that same kind of level? We don't have like a massive gap between, Diaz and Nunes or Jota or Gakpo. There's not like a huge gap between all of them. They're all kind of in the same realm. So don't you think that now in this position that we're in, this is what we were always going to see anyway, especially once Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino left Liverpool? This is for Kwasi. Well, this is for Kwasi, actually.
Yeah.
No, okay. Bigger. But gee, I know your landmines that you've been setting up since you started this show. So let's just make it clear. Number one, no one is saying Salah is not good enough. No one said he's not goated in the Liverpool folklore. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to hear what he has done, because I saw the screen that you tried to, you like imprinted it while Enz was talking. We are not talking about that. We know what the man has done. That is not the issue.
Okay, fair enough.
The issue right now is what we're doing right now, right? And my thing with Salah, usually it's not even just Salah, it's also the manager, is why are we so right-sided dominant? Because it affects the team. Yes, you are right. When Mane and Bobby was there, we were still right-side dominant. But guess what? We had the perfect equalizer by the name of Bobby Firmino to be able to distribute between Salah and Mane, right? So it wasn't so as Salah all the time. Right now, we have a problem where Brighton match, everything went to Salah for about 20 minutes, and Diaz and Nunes and everybody else was just standing there looking like, what's going on here? The thing that is annoying, and I think that's what Eds is trying to say, is Diaz gets the ball one time out of Salah getting the ball for 20 minutes and he screws up. The fan base is gonna say, let's send him to Barcelona. Right? We are looking at a volume where it's not realistic. Diaz needs to make the same amount of mistakes as Salah is making for him to also create something. If you remember, at the beginning of the year, that's what our debate was, that Salah gets way more volume than the rest of the other guys. So yes, he will create, he will score. His GA is going to go up. The other guys are not going to get that amount of time, amount of chances to do what Salah did. So the thing was, when he goes to AFCON, we will see what happens. And I know your famous work, it's not enough sample size. But then the man came back and he was injured. So now we have enough sample size. When Liverpool is balanced, we are dangerous, right? If we go player to player, nobody's Salah on the team. We all agree that, right? But when we are balanced and everybody's doing their job, it's a machine. So we have been one of the few teams that have said we are not a one-man team. I think we break that myth, right? Oh, if Salah gets injured, you guys screwed. Okay, he was gone. Then what? Oh, when you get all these injuries, we bring in the kids. Now what? So I think this is where my frustration is with the manager. But yesterday he showed that, bro, you're not doing well. We're not going to keep you in there until you figure it out. I'm going to bring the Arsenals to come in and finish this thing off. Man United, you have a chance, do something. So the whole idea is people needs to be fair. When Salah is playing and we are right side dominant, and also I blame Trent sometimes because Trent also do the same thing. The manager also maybe needs to tell people, hey, spread the ball around. Let's make it so that you don't know when Salah is going to get the ball, because when we are balanced, Salah is more dangerous than when we give him the ball consistently for him to create miracles. You see what I mean? So that's my plight with the whole situation. We can make it seem like, well, if he's not there, we're not going to do nothing. We destroy that myth. That one people needs to start. If you're going to criticize Diaz, Gakpo, Nunes for them missing chances, I want the same smoke going to the right side of the can. As a matter of fact, he needs to get more because he is the dog.
Ben, chat to the people, man. Obviously, I know where you kind of stand in this conversation, and I'm going to ask the big question in a bit. But yeah, obviously listening to Kwasi there, listening to Enz, talking a lot about Liverpool's style. Kwasi mentioned in there, of course, Liverpool's balance and things like that. But Kwasi mentioned something actually that kind of stuck in my head, was about one, Klopp or the staff, whoever it is, someone over there, the management team, the way that they're, of course, getting Liverpool to play. Because one of the questions I was going to ask Kwasi before he said that was, we're talking about, we're too right side dominant. I hear that. Of course we are. Look at our right side when Trent is available. You've got Trent potentially as a Bozalai and Salah. That's going to be the stronger side just by default. But we're talking as if Salah's being, I feel that we're trying to say he's being mad greedy when the manager is obviously telling them that. No, like I feel like, is the manager not telling these guys to do this? Like McAllister played how many balls over the top against Brighton? Do we think that was just it was either one of two things. Salah was the only one in space, or the manager said, keep looking for Salah if he makes that run. Because I didn't see many other players making those same runs. I don't really know. But Ben, let me know what you think on that one, man.
I 100% agree. I definitely think it's just the way we're set up, and people obviously have their preferences on what they want to do. But I think yesterday, obviously, he was subbed off because for whatever reason, I didn't really notice him in the game too much. I was there,
Yeah.
I was at Anfield, and I have to be honest, I didn't really notice him. And Enz will be happy to know that we did play better when he went off. So that was my first thought when he went off and he started playing well. I was like, flip side, Enz is going to be loving this now. But in general, like for me, I'm always wanting Salah to be on the pitch rather than him not being on the pitch. I just feel like it's so easy to look at a small period of time where we might have done well without him, but then there'll be big games coming up. And I love Darwin Núñez. I'm one of his biggest fans, as you know, G. And just something that Kwasi said as well about volume. Well, he's missed out of all our forwards, he's missed the most biggest chances. So if it was down to the amount of chances you get, surely Darwin should be, on equal goals or more than Salah because of the amount of big chances he's had. So I don't agree with that. It's just because of the volume that Salah gets. I just think, like I say, everyone's got their own preference of how they watch football and how they want us to set up. And for me, I'm not like one of these tacticos. I'm not clever enough to understand the ins and outs of football, but I'm very easy. And as long as we're winning games and as long as we're top of the league, I couldn't care less. If that Darwin Núñez goal yesterday, for example, was the only goal, and that's what won the game and got the 3 points, I wouldn't be bothered because at the minute it is literally all about winning games. And for me, to win a football match for us, you've got a much better chance of Mo Salah being on the pitch than if he's not. So I would say to the people that are starting to think whether, next season when the new manager comes in, if it is the better idea to move him on. We've seen a very, very successful Liverpool side with Salah. We haven't seen one without Salah in our lifetime. So I would just give what you wish for because, one day you might be thinking, if only we had Salah, we would have scored that chance.
Enz and Kwasi, let me know, man, because the thing is, and before I get onto the before I get onto the next bit,
No way.
I totally understand where they're both coming from. This ain't good. Like I said, I speak with Enz quite a lot anyway, and I fully get where he's coming from. And we had that conversation earlier on this year, talking about when Liverpool go away for AFCON. What's Liverpool really gonna, what they're gonna look like? Because no Salah there, so that big goal threat is of course gone. But we saw what happened. I showed you guys the screen up there before in terms of still playing well. We still won games. We made it through to the Carabao Cup final. Obviously made it through to the next round of the FA Cup in that time as well. So it's not like, and I don't want to go too far, but it's not like we missed him during that period of time. And of course, when he comes back, he does score. But as Enz did say, he did look a little bit off. I will agree, he did look a little bit off. But I just kind of put that down to, well, he's been injured for God knows however long he'd been injured for. The team are in such full flow. Now he's coming back into it, trying to still find his feet, but he's still doing the one thing that Ben mentioned there. As much as I don't want to look at this as a stats thing, that's why the question or the title of this video is: he almost the exception to that rule? Because when we've seen in terms of the volume, Darwin Núñez having the most big chances, and he isn't scoring the same amount, I'm almost sitting there like, listen, I'm not being Darwin Núñez's fan like that, but he has improved this season. And to the GA guys, he's got 30 GA now. I think yesterday was the number 30. So he's getting his numbers up anyway. And hopefully, slowly, we get to a point where I'm not saying he has to match Salah, but just, okay, it's consistent, plus 20 GA every single season. And then, of course, we can, worry about the third person after that. But when we're looking at almost that one person, and it doesn't have to be a dominant amount. I think we're all looking at it thinking, trying to find someone to replace Salah. I don't feel like it's as simple as just, find someone who can just replace Salah to get his goals. No, I'm just talking about more often than not, unless you've got a really bad striker kind of thing, and you've just got two wingers who can get like almost a bit like Arsenal, where they're not looking at Jesus to get them the crux of their goals. It's going to be Martinelli and Saka, and it's mostly going to be Saka. Why? Because he's the dominant one within that front three. I always feel like there's just one dominant person. Is Núñez or is Diaz or is Gakpo or is Jota? are they the ones that you guys are going to be happy to rely upon, or potentially someone else in the mix? If we sign someone, are they going to be the ones you're going to rely upon, or are we going to go down the road that Ben said, where be careful what you wish for? You let go of your biggest goal threat. All of a sudden now, yes, the goals will be spread out, but how many goals will that be? Obviously we don't know at the moment, but how many can they continuously keep doing? Because we've seen throughout the season, excuse me, we've seen throughout the season, Diaz, Jota, Gakpo, and Salah, and Nunes. We've seen them all season go in and out of form. There's only been one person who's always been in and out of form, but keeps getting you the G8, and that's Salah. The rest of them, we've seen them when they go out of form, if they're not scoring, more often than not, they're not really playing well, and they're not really doing anything. So then what are they adding, to the team, to the game kind of thing? Yes, the one-off times, Diaz might have a good game here, doesn't need to score, like the game against Manchester City kind of thing, like doesn't always need to be scoring, but he will still do his thing. Yeah, they have those one-offs, but Salah is so consistent with it. So that's why I ask you both about, when Enz, you mentioned about, or you've been trying to float in the air, which is now starting to annoy me in the spaces, about potentially selling Salah in the summer. I'm just like, okay, that's cool, but don't you feel like that it might be difficult to potentially get someone, or are you happy to be relying upon the guys who are left in the team?
Can I jump in real quick, Eds? Because I caught a stray from Ben, so I would like to. I like to. I understand the part where we say Nunes have missed the most clear, I think the most easy chances. To paraphrase it, make it easier.
Big chances, I think.
Big chances, yeah. But then if you look at the game against Manchester United at Anfield, I think Salah got over 200 touches. And on the other side, Diaz and Nunes barely, I think they both played, barely get this combined, did not even match hits. I think that's what we're talking about here, And then also with G, what you said, it is true that Salah, yes, Salah is the best player. We know that. So his stuff to score, he can, but we can assume that he's not that get the more amount of volume, not the chances, amount of volume to create those assists, to score those goals, right? Now, when Salah is not there, and even the rest of them are not playing, remember, all of them crossed the line of the 10 goals combined when Salah wasn't there. You see what I'm saying? So the idea is, when it's balanced now, the pressure is on them to actually perform, because you can't blame Mo anymore, right? You can't say, well, I didn't get enough ball to be able to do what I can do. Now you right there. So somebody like Gakpo, it became clear that, okay, Gakpo, what's going on there? That's where the fans were like, he's not cut for Liverpool, right? But then who was scoring? Nunes, Diaz, and Jota. And we had a kid by the name of Dance who came in there to do his thing. So the idea for me is, it's not about, Mo is not, if we're trying to be petty, we can pick every little thing that he's not doing right. But as a team, if the team is supposed to be a machine, all the parts has to work equally. But at the same time, yes, the best player will get maybe 10% more. That's fine with me, because that's what happened with the Bobby and the Mane years, where Salah always get maybe 10-15% more than everybody else. Right now, it's like 30-40. That's way too much. You see what I mean? So even if you can look at that specific game that I mentioned, the Liverpool versus Man U at Anfield, the heat map said everything was on the right side, which Diaz had to come through the middle. And then even yesterday, I watched the game again. Diaz, Nunes kept running to each other. Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, same thing. Mo was all over the place. That's why when we got the ball in the final third, we couldn't do anything until, I don't want to say it, when Mo left. And yeah, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, just before you continue, you just mentioned something. You just mentioned that Diaz and Nunes kept running into each other. So Szoboszlai and Gravenberch kind of all over the gaff. So I'm trying to figure out, what's that got to do with Salah?
Salah also was all over the place.
Okay, cool, but
That's what
you're
I'm saying. Salah
mentioning
was
that
all
Diaz
because,
and Nunes are running into, like, what's that got to do with Salah on the other side?
and that's where
Can I add to it?
I know where ends is coming.
Can I add? Can I add?
I'll let you finish. You finish it.
I see you smiling. How do you want to add?
Let me add. No, he's right, yeah. But when you guys remember when he was away for AFCON, that was not happening in terms of the forwards running each other because they could interchange. I could end up on the right hand side, I can go through the middle, I can end up over in the left. But because Mo is the sole right-sided heavy, he did try to move a bit more in this game. I did notice that. But because he's so right-sided heavy, it only allows Diaz and Nunes to change more. And which sometimes doesn't work because we need them to be able to rotate. And what I loved a lot when Salah wasn't in the team, Diaz was out on the right, he was then through the middle. Then you had Gakpo through the middle, then he was out on the left. Nunes was on the right. They kept changing, which then allowed the defense. Yeah, it allowed the defense to go, who is actually playing where? But because they already know Mo's right side heavy, the only two things we have to worry about is if Diaz goes inside and Nunes goes on the outside. We can fix that. That's easy. We can. But when there's three strikers just rotating and ending up, you don't know where they're going to end up. That fullback might have to deal with some pace. Then he might have to deal with some trickery. Then he might have to deal with someone that's going to run in behind. But because it keeps changing, it made their backline disjointed, which then freed up more space for your McAllisters. It freed up more. And that's why it looked like Gravenberch and Sobol wasn't doing enough because the guys in front of them weren't moving. If you notice a lot in the game, Virgil kept telling them to move. Every time he carried the ball out, he kept telling them, like, boys, you need to move. Because the forwards were just so stagnant because they weren't allowed to just move across the front three. It was only across the front two because Mo was just he's gonna stick to the right hand side. But as soon as that came off, you notice Curtis had more time. McAllister had more time. He was just popping up in behind those little pockets in behind their team. That was not happening in the first half because we were too stagnant up there. And Mo is a part of that. When he's not there, they're more fluid, bro. I'm telling you. But I was gonna.
Do you not think Trent not playing is also a big factor in this? Because Trent, you look at the level Trent was playing at before he got injured. He was the best player in the league for me. Everyone was saying he's PFA Player of the Year candidate now. It switched to Virgil van Dijk, and rightfully so, by the way. But I just feel like whenever I say it, like Trent's a big miss for not even just the way we play, just the system, the way we set up, I get told, oh, but what about defensively? I don't care about that. Like, I do care about defending, but what Trent offers is just far more important for me than a 1v1 attack. So I think personally, it's just since he's been away, I'm not just trying to say Trent's the reason that Salah's doing whatever you're suggesting, but I do think things have changed, not just for Salah, I think everyone. And when it was Trent in the team and he had his position and everybody knew what they were doing week in, week out, there was none of what you're saying right now. Nobody ever suggested people were getting in each other's ways. No one was suggesting that people weren't doing enough. Everyone was doing the job. And I just think Trent's been a far, far bigger miss than people just look at Conor Bradley and think Trent's not been a miss. It's nonsense in my eyes. Bradley's been incredible. He's been absolutely sensational. But I just think for the way we play and the way Trent can dictate a tempo of a game, he's been such a big miss. And I think it's a credit to the team and the manager, really, that, you know, since he has gone out, we have managed to keep going from strength to strength. And now we're top of the league with 8 games to go. Because if any other team is to play as good as him, they would crumble.
Go on, Enz. I know you had
the
board.
I was going to get the board out, man, but I'm going to do something else.
I thought stats are for mugs, Enz.
No, it is, bro. But I'm only trying it because when you speak when you're speaking to majority of the fan base, but you have to speak stats in it. I don't want to, but I have to get my message across.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? No, but I'm gonna try and get up the. I don't know if you're gonna use the lineup builder G at all today, but I'm gonna try. Okay. Whenever you're ready to do that, then I'll explain my point a bit more about his positioning and why it costs us a lot in the game. When you get to that part, I'll do that.
And also, I was gonna say,
please.
I think it was the match that we played. I think it was a Manchester United game, or even a game that we won. And I felt like there's 3 players that I'm sorry, they are not part of this new team that we have, because I saw the ball move fluidly, and those players could not catch up to what the modern Liverpool is doing. One is one of the person that we're talking about right now. The other one is Robo. You see what I mean? And it was like pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. And I could also say because they've been injured for so long, there's a rustiness in Liverpool's team. We have to be honest. There's some rustiness in there because players have been got injury, but you still see what we're trying to do. And that's what makes the manager and the team so good, because regardless of who comes in, you still have to follow the blueprint, right? But I think in case of Mo, yes, you want to use that, your heading. It suits Messi more than it suits Mo. That's the best way for me to answer that. Because because with Messi is an alien.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And actually, if you realize it, especially with Argentina, when they stopped trying to do what Barcelona was doing with Messi, they started winning. It was Messi, you just stay over there, let us do the work, and we give you the ball, and then you can do your Messi stuff. And that's how they won the World Cup. And even in Inter Miami, he does the same thing they're doing. He doesn't do much. He's stands there, he walks around, surveys the places, the spaces, and then he finds the weakness. And then with Liverpool, we can't do that with Mo. It's not going to work. We can't do that with Mo. Mo is great, but he's not Messi.
No. Listen, I'm not saying he is. Messi's my favorite player ever, and I think we're never gonna see a player of that type of quality anyway. But I do. When I say exception to the rule, I just mean it in terms of there are only a few players in world football. So Kylian Mbappe being one of them. Haaland obviously might be another. I wouldn't even say Harry Kane because he likes to get involved in the game a lot more. But there are like a few players dotted around, even at lesser teams, to be honest with you, where they're kind of left to their devices because of how pivotal that they are, to their team. So, go on.
Can I challenge what you just said? Those players that you mentioned are younger than Mo. Mo can do what Mo used to do 7 years ago, and that's take the player on and use his pace to beat him off the dribble.
Does he need to?
Right now, that's why Ernst is trying to say we stuck on the right side, because back then you give ball to Mo, he would take you on and beat you. Now he can't do that as much as he used to anymore.
But does he need to? Is the question? That's
if it, then we can put the onus on Mo. We have to be balanced for him to do what he needs to do, because when the ball is spread out, he's dangerous anyway. So when he pops into those spaces, I don't care who you are, you're not gonna be able to deal with him. The problem is Manchester United have been using this on him. They use Wan-Bissaka out of anybody, Wan-Bissaka, and say stick to him. And how many times have Mo tried to be able to go around? No. The last time we rolled up to Old Trafford and beat them, we were so balanced they could not figure out what was going on. By the time they realized it, by 40th minute, it's already 4 goals. Half of the stadium was empty. Now with the Mbappe, Haaland, look at Haaland right now. Haaland is struggling because he doesn't have KDB to be able to assist him with the ball that he needs to do. So Foden has to take off the mantle and try to score more goals. So there's a few people that, yes, your title do encompass. I think Mbappe is one of them. Harry Kane, maybe. I don't think Haaland is one of them. Because Haaland you need to feed him. If you don't feed him, he's not going to eat. Mbappe, he has skill that he could get it himself. You see what I mean? Mo used to be like that. Mo used to get it himself. Right now, injuries, longevity, all those things have affected him. So he has to be part of the team instead of him being just Mo.
I feel you. Go on, Enzo. I see you got up the formation thing, man. Chat to us about this, man. I think you're on mute.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
What I noticed is obviously Diaz will do all the legwork, he's up and down, but when it comes to the defensive side, he's there. If it's Robbo, if it's Gomez, if whoever it is, Simicas, he's there doubling up, tripling up if he needs to. McAllister, Darwin will drop in whatever. But Mo always stays here. And I know it's tactical that we leave him up there. We're playing, the percentages. If we can win the ball, we can hit him, he's in. But how many times this season has that actually happened where we've won the ball, hit him, and we've got a goal from it?
Probably not many. I haven't even checked, but probably not
But
many.
what keeps happening is, bro, and this is why our right side keeps getting killed. And I noticed this against Brighton. When Estepina, he goes on behind Mo. Mo doesn't travel with him. Mo just stays. So it becomes a triangle here where Gross was dropping into this pocket. McAllister, if he's not sharp enough to get in here, but Adingra will just hold in touch, which means if Bradley drags out in here, there's a massive gap for him to run through. But now, even if Bradley goes, the ball, say the ball goes into Estepina, he goes, Bradley has to go. Then there's room here for him to travel in, or Estepina can just travel the ball into this space. There's no one here. And then McAllister is probably going to have to work his ass off to try and get back in. If he doesn't, Kwanzaa has to go across, which you notice a lot in the game. And then it leaves a massive gap for any cutback into the space. We expect Virgil to kind of deal with it. But it always became a 3v1 in that game. And that's why you were looking, right? And he was like, why is Bradley and Kwanzaa just getting cooked the whole time? Because these man was just like, no. Mo isn't going to track back. So Estepina, you know what you do? Just run on behind him and he's not going to travel with you. Now you're an option if we need to lay it back, cut it back on the overlap as well, because Adingra could probably run in here. Bradley has to go. And then I've got this whole side to run into. And it continuously happens in most of our games we play. And that's why, like, I'm not going to defend Trent here, but a lot of times defensively, he gets found out because it's always a 2v1. It's a 1-2 on the inside, flick it round the corner, in, and then he's down the line. Because this man goes, yeah, I'm just going to play the percentage. Tactically, that's what Klopp wants, I guess. So if Bradley gets it, I can hit it because the fullback is out of position. I'll hit it into the space and then Mo can go through. But we used to kill teams a lot like this. I remember goals like against Arsenal, Man United a few times where we've won the ball and Trent just hit you straight away. And Mo's running, cutting, goal. We know it's in the back of the net. But I'm looking at this season and it's harmed us more than it's been successful. How many goals have we actually scored from this? I can't think of any off the top of my head on a reel. Maybe there is, and I can't think of it in the moment. I'm sure people will say, oh, this goal, that goal, whatever. But it's not happening as frequent as it used to. But defensively, because we keep getting these triangles here, our right side is getting cooked. And sometimes because Bradley makes this run as well to go and support, Mo will either drift into here, which opens up the space there. Or if Mo stays there, Bradley goes here. And then say Estepina is here. But because this guy is waiting here, he knows as soon as they win it, Mo's not going to track me. And then it's going to be Bradley has to work his ass off, or McAllister Sob, who's going to be there, is going to have to drop in here. But even then, that's two players out the game. He's probably going to be in here. There's a couple of 1-2s. And then this guy's gone. He's going to be bombing on. And then all these men are going to be standing there watching while this guy has to work his ass off, or this guy has to work his ass off to get back in. And it happens time and time again, bro. The way we conceded a goal was Mo was here, plays a ball in the inside, loses it. Estepina was like, yeah, I'm gone. Mo tried to stick a leg out, did nothing. Adingra plays it into him, 1v1 against, because these guys are trying to run back. Kwanzaa then has to come across. And then it was like, why are you pressing him? But it leaves a massive gap here because we're overcompensating for other people not doing their job. And if you notice when Mo was away, that was not happening at all. It wasn't happening at all because everyone was playing in their position. What was happening was he didn't have to come across to come and support. Yeah, he could be there. The right back could be where he needed to be. So we was always facing up. Let's just use Mac as a centre-back for now. Everyone was just in their rightful position and we didn't have to overcompensate because the winger would come back and double up like these two on this side. So that means you're now going to have to go back sideways again to try and open us up. But they were finding it difficult. Then because of the front three interchanging, he would be over here. He could end up there. Let's just use Mo for the sake of it for now. And then it just kept moving. They just kept finding different areas where they could play into. And it was just causing so much confusion for the defense of the teams that we were playing against because Gakpo, Jota, Nunes, and Diaz, they will just keep changing no matter who you picked. But now I'm noticing that we just keep getting this little triangle and we just keep getting cooked by it on that right-hand side. It doesn't happen on the left because Diaz defensively, this man, he works his ass off and he gets back in. But I know it's tactical and I'm not only solely blaming it on Mo, but there's moments in it where I'm like, all right, bro, if the tactics is you not to come back. I need those simple chances in the back of the net, then, my bro. I need you to be, you know, in the moments when the game is tough, you don't become selfish. I need you to go, do you know what, my man's square, let me give it to him. He's open, let me pass it to him. Instead of you going in that Brighton game, we missed so many chances. On another day, the game become harder, even though it wasn't that hard. It became harder because he wasn't using the right options. You just kept being selfish and selfish and selfish in the game. The next game, you realize the other man then was like, nah, man, we're going to do our own thing. He wasn't in the game because they weren't using him as much. And when they did use him, it's like, bro, give us something. One over the bar, slip a foot shot to the goalkeeper from the center of the pitch, straight down the goalkeeper. Next one, he tried to put it, hit the first man. Like, bro, while you got Diaz running his ass up and down, left and right, running across the midfield, dropping shoulders, killing man, playing the ball in. The two midfielders in terms of Sobbo and Gravenberch, they kept moving to try and find space because it was so rigid. But they're like, bro, Mo, you need to move as well, because if you move, we can then occupy that space, and then you're free to make a run in behind. And when he started doing that, miscontrol the ball. Cuts inside, loses the ball. It's like, bro, I know you're going to score a goal in that eventually in the game, but yeah, we need a bit more still.
I mean, crazy. We need a bit more on the top of the league. I don't know how much more Ends is looking for, but I hear it.
No, man, I heard the man them say they need more. You know what? I had a conversation with a couple of man them. They told me they need more. I just told you what I need him to do. I'm not just saying more and
no, of course.
Explain it. I've explained what I want more is. More is, bro. Allow my fullbacks and that kept me getting cooked, bro. Like getting the triangles around them every 2 seconds. Drop in, bro. Don't pretend to defend. Defend. You know what I mean? That little jog back where man are like, oh, I did something. No, big man. Run back. Sweat. Because I've seen Mo when he's on it, when he's gone, we need to make sure we secure the bag today. I've seen this man leg it down the pitch, go and win the ball and keep it simple. Need a bit more than that, man. You know what I mean? A bit more of that I need, Mo.
And then I'll give an example of what game he's talking about. Liverpool versus Chelsea before he went to AFCON. He balled out from 0 to 90 some minutes. You know what I mean? He was all over the place, going forward, defense, and he did exactly what Enz is saying. So the thing is, yes, we understand there's manager instructions that comes with it, but for some of us who sees that, and then the other side of the fan base want to crucify Diaz, Gakpo, Nunez, and everybody else, and we were like, hold up, what about the other guy over there? It has to be fair in terms of the balance, but I'm more for the team being balanced because I think we are dangerous, and even more dangerous when the team is balanced because he pops up to places where the defenders can't even recognize when did he get there. You know, like even the goal against Brighton. Those are the things you see Mo do when we are balanced. In the old days, yeah, he was doing it for fun. So we used to close our eyes to the rest of the things that Enz is saying. But right now, it's a little bit too obvious. And we have to be,
No, the thing is, what Enz is explaining again, and this is why I see it from Enz's point of view and why I'm not. If this was anybody else who was coming with the agenda, then it'll be a different kind of conversation. Like I said, I understand where Enz is coming from, and he's explained it as to what he wants to see more from Mo Salah. Just quickly, RJ, big up RJ every time, man. While Salah was gone, still only 2 clean sheets at Bournemouth and Forest. Altogether, we have 9 clean sheets. The other 7 were with Mo. So we're still conceding goals, whether Mo's there or not. I understand it from what Enz is saying, though, because we do look a lot more vulnerable when he is there on that right-hand side. Bradley, you start to see making, I won't say more mistakes or anything because it's just own goals, but he just looks a bit more vulnerable when he hasn't got that much help on that right-hand side. Whereas before, I agree, when Mo wasn't there and we had Diaz or Jota or Gakpo just kind of sliding out to that right-hand side, you saw almost the best of Bradley. We saw what he was doing, getting up and down the pitch because he still felt comfortable that I'm still going to be backed by either the central midfielder or the right winger is going to help me out in certain situations and things like that. So I fully get it. I'm not trying to be ignorant. I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to sit here and say to you, and I hope you already know that. I've admitted it. For me, I'm just taking the stats right now, because at times the performances have not matched it, and for me, the performances haven't even really been good in terms of as a whole for quite a while. Probably even last season, when you think about it. Obviously, everyone was crap last season, but even he wasn't even that good. But what saved us, so to speak, is the fact that he was just getting so many goals. But we were going through what we were going through. But Mo's kind of been like this, and I feel like he's already been heading down this route. But why I say you keep someone like that in the team is that even when the performances are not there, when you need a goal, who's going to provide it? And it's always Mo, or sorry, it's more consistently going to be Mo. That's why I'm like, I get it. When he's not there, we are more fluid.
Do you know? Just sorry to cut you there.
No.
But do you see with Mo? I always agree he's the one that gets the goal. But when you're always the one getting the ball, you're gonna get those. You're gonna get the chances to eventually get that goal. But whenever I look at it, it's like when people say, "No, but he's the one that gets us a goal." I'm like, but he's not. He didn't do what McAllister did for us. McAllister yesterday was like, when we needed a goal, this man put one in the top corner for us. When Mo, we needed a goal, McAllister found him and literally was like, bro, put this one in. Do you know what I mean? Against Brighton, like, enough's enough. You've had 11 now. Put this one in, please. So when people are like, oh, but he's the one that gets us to goal. Yeah, that's cool. But there's always a teammate that had to give him the ball. It's not like he gets it. Not like I used to like pick the ball up against Man City, drop two shoulders, bang, back of the net. Spin a man at the halfway line, drive it, finish. Doppy 3-man on the right-hand side like he used to do against Watford. Drop two shoulders, roll it into the far corner. He's not doing that anymore. So when we're saying, oh yeah, we need goals from Mo, you're like, that's when when we needed them, he was just cooking up the teams and getting the goals. But now we have a balanced team. I'm just saying, an unselfish Mo is a way better Mo. And when he's unselfish, you know what happens? He ends up getting more goals. He actually ends up getting more goals and assists when he's not selfish. Because the teammates go, do you know what? When I get it, I need to give Mo because, you know, he's giving me one. Mo only passes here once he's got his one. Once he's got his one, yeah. But if everyone else is scoring, I promise you, if Diaz and Nunes score, Mo ain't passing the ball the next couple of chances.
He's
when
just
you're like, bro, we're only 2-0 up, big man. Let's kill the game off. Give me it 3-0, 4-0. Don't worry, we'll get, bro, you'll get one.
Listen, I didn't hear people complaining when Jermaine Defoe was out here being Mr. Greedy, and we called him. Oh, he was deadly, man. We loved it because he just loved going for goals.
Like, Mo ain't deadly, bro.
Be greedy.
Mo ain't deadly, bro. Mo ain't deadly, bro.
You know what? I'll even agree. I don't think he's deadly. I
He's
just think he's
deadly.
super consistent. That's what consistent. He is. Yeah, he's just madly consistent. I'm going to go through a couple of questions. I know a couple of the guys, of course, have got to head out. Big up everybody who's in the chat,
cool,
guys.
I'm here, bro. I'm here for a minute, man. Let's go.
Keep dropping your questions in the chat. I'm going to throw your questions at the panel, and yeah, they can answer the question for you. Then we're going to go through what Liverpool may potentially look like if it's Amorim, what Liverpool would look like under Amorim, and does Mo Salah make the team for anybody on the panel outside of myself? Big up honesty. Question for the panel: with the new manager, do you guys think a 3-5-2 will suit Salah and Trent in the double pivot with Curtis Jones, Mo, and Darwin up front, Bozolai and Diaz on the wings? I don't want to answer that just yet. We'll get into that one in a minute, but big up honesty. Ravi asking question, a 3-4-3 formation better to suit Salah? We'll get into that one. Question from Honesty: if Mac 10 continues on this trajectory and we win the Prem and Europa, will Mac 10 be in the conversation for player of the season? Start with you, Kwazi, or ends, whoever first.
No.
I think conversation-wise, he will be, but I don't know if people will vote him in. Because right now, Virgil he's been that man. Either he's doing it silently or he's doing it something like what he did in the Carabao Cup final, right? So those silent leaderships, those silent baller, however you want to describe it, usually go far. What McAllister is doing, he has to do it like across the whole season. And we all understand when he first came in, he had growing pains that he had to do. And when he figured it out, you know.
He'll be in the team of the year, though, in my opinion.
Team of the year.
We'll do a stream on that.
Ben? What do you think about? What do you think about that in terms of conversation? I think he'll be in the. I think this one's kind of a blanket question though, because I feel like he'll be in the conversation anyway, because of his form.
Yeah.
But what do you think anyway for the end of the season?
Yeah, I think he'll be in there, in the team of the season at least. The player of the season, I agree with what Kwasi said. I think it did take a month or two for him to fully get going, and that was completely normal. I think a lot of people may have not like lost patience, but I think people don't realize how different it is going from a team like Brighton. And all due respect to Brighton, they've done some big things over the last 3 or 4 years, but he's gone from a big fish in a small pond to a big fish in a big pond, and it was always going to take time. And he was playing as the sixth for some time until Endo got fully up to speed, and he was incredible doing that as well. And obviously he said himself he wants to play as 8. He would rather attack, but he can also play wherever the manager wants him to play. And I think he even said he'll play up front if the manager asked him to play there. So it just shows what sort of player he is and what sort of person he is. Definitely think from like the turn of the year up until now, I don't think you can name 3 midfielders better than him. I don't. So I 100% agree with Enz. I think he'll be in the team of the season. But I agree with Kwasi as well. I think Virgil van Dijk, if we win the league, he's going to surely have that POTY wrapped up, I think.
Nah, I fully hear it. And you know what, Kwasi, you actually said it right, like it's like he's doing it silently, because I don't even feel like he's doing it where maybe because we just expect Virgil van Dijk. Like, as Liverpool fans, we know how good in fact, let me even take it, because that makes it seem biased. As football fans, we all know how good Virgil van Dijk actually is. This is the guy who almost won the Ballon d'Or. You name me another Premier League defender who was even that close. I can't really remember off the top of my head. So this is a top player, and that was even back then. And look at his performances now. People will say context and say, look at the defenders now, but you can only be as good as what's around you regardless anyway. You know what I mean? So even if people don't think the defenders aren't even that great, but we put Saliba, Gabriel's, and whoever else in these conversations, Virgil is at the top of that list. He really, really is at the top of this. And this season, even yesterday, like I did my match ratings, and when you're doing, I keep saying it for Virgil, I almost treat Virgil like, in terms of rating, I treat him like the goalkeeper almost. When like the goalkeeper rating, sometimes you're like, he actually didn't make a save, for example, in the whole game. So I can't give him a high score, if that makes sense. Not because you played poorly, just because you didn't make one save. The team was, on top. Maybe you did, I don't know, you had a great distribution. That's like with Virgil now. Like, I'm having to treat him like that, where I'm like, okay, you didn't do anything, but he wasn't rubbish. So I can't even give you a low score, but I feel like giving you too high of a score would almost be unfair on the other players in the team who might have, been really great on the ball or defensively or anything like that's how good he is, though. That's the point I'm getting with Virgil, is that sometimes I don't even care about his rating unless he stinks it up or he makes a mistake. I'm like, yeah, give him an 8 if you want, give him a whatever. It doesn't really matter because his performance levels are so consistent. So
I have a quick question. If you don't mind. I'm gonna try to cut in front of the line of questions. Since Klopp in Liverpool, there's been a couple of players that I believe that they have revolutionized football, right? I'm not going to say they started it. I'm just saying they have revolutionized football. Salah, all of a sudden now everybody, there's a Salah. Who's the next person who plays like Salah? They have the Saka conversation nowadays. Martinelli, the Manes, right? Mane, Bobby. The false 9 who can do what Bobby that sacrifice his own worth for the best of the rest of his teammates, right? We saw Benzema do it at Madrid. Arsenal tried to use Jesus to do the same thing, right? That's why a lot of Liverpool fans don't criticize Arsenal, Jesus, for not scoring enough goal, because we see the other things he does, right? Do you guys think that, looking at Saliba and Gabriel, do you think that, and this one is, you think that Virgil has revolutionized defending?
Yeah.
Because, and I'm saying that because if you look at when Ramos was playing, and Ramos and Pepe, everybody was like, yeah, that's the defenders I want. They hardcore, they on the ground, they're doing this, they're dirty. You're like, bro, I'm in the old school of Paulo Maldini. He said, if you go on the ground, you already lost. You see what I mean? So I'm looking at Virgil and I'm looking at Saliba and Gabriel, and I'm like, bro, This guy is literally like a carbon copy of Virgil playing with either Konate or Matip, or even Joey, and now Kwanzaa. So my question is, do you guys feel like he has revolutionized defending where now, even if you look through the league, you don't see defenders making stupid mistakes. They are very, very in tune with what's going on. Yes, you could say it's more of a teamwork, but still, I mean, think about the old days about defenders. You get red cards, yellow cards, slide tackle, breaking legs, all those stuff. The league has cleaned up. It's not the refs. We can't give the credits to the refs. I don't want to say Virgil is the sole reason, but I feel like he has revolutionized how defending is. Because when everybody right now, who do you compare yourself to?
No, it will be Virgil, man. It will definitely be. No, I think he has. I think ever since he came to Liverpool, he revolutionized it in terms of everything you said, really, in terms of the way he defends. I don't even think it's like defending, because there's been defenders who've kind of done similar things to him, but in the way that he does it, now you're seeing, we'll use Arsenal, Saliba. Now everyone calls him the baby Van Dijk. The reason why is because now almost every team, and even Brighton to a certain degree, even the way that they play, you almost want a Virgil, and you then don't mind having a normal defender. Konate, for example, in any other era, Konate just slots into all those errors. In terms of he's another normal defender who defends. Yes, he'll do the rash stuff every now and again, but that's what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing defenders who do that. Even Vincent Kompany was like that. Vincent Kompany was not like Virgil. No way. Vincent Kompany would rash at times. He would late challenges, late fouls, late to the ball, but solid defender. He's a fantastic positionally. All of these.
If Man City would have, because obviously Man City wanted Virgil.
Yeah,
if they would have got Virgil, bro.
Yeah.
It's over. Him and Kompany and them, man, there, and Diaz.
No.
Oh, it's over. It's over.
If this man wasn't at Liverpool, trust me, he's another. You know, like how we say Kyle Walker is a cheat code, Mbappe is a cheat code, Vinny is a cheat code, Virgil is a cheat code, bro. If he was at that Man City team, it's long day, bro.
No,
long day.
And
you don't get past them, bro. What do you do? They have most of the ball, and then when it comes to the defending side, you're not going to get past him. And then you got Kyle Walker and.
I'm just deeping it now. Nah, you're not getting past Vincent Kompany and Virgil van. That is a myth. That is a myth. It's like it's never ever happening, man. It's never ever happening. Big up everybody, of course. Again, keep coming with the questions. We'll just get through a couple more, and then we'll take a look at the lineup under Amorim. If it's him, I don't want to keep jinxing it, but if it's him next season, what we would look like. And now it's kind of 2 against 1. I'm kind of by myself now that Ben has left, so I'm gonna have to be fighting this Mo Salah case quite a lot. What's the next one? No, not that one. Okay, cool. Big up, honestly. Question: does Salah need to stop chasing records? Because when Salah is on that, can you just let me finish the question? That he will. He didn't even let me finish, bro. Is on that selfish as fuck, but because you can see he wants the golden boot. Ends already answered the question.
Yes,
I know he's already answered the question. I agree as well. I do think at times, bro, I beg, just pass the ball. Like, please, just pass the ball. At times, other times, I'm like, I'm not even mad at you because you are in position sense. You're not that. In what you are like a striker. So I expect you to do certain striker things, which is be greedy in certain situations that other people just wouldn't do. Like Nunes would probably look to pass in a lot more situations because he doesn't have that type of instinct, that selfishness about him. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's what makes Mo Salah, Mo Salah.
One thing that also annoys me with Salah is when we're on a counter-attack, and he passes the ball early so he could get it the last one. So
he can get it back.
My God.
He always does that. Yeah, he always does that. He's like I told you, when you're world class, these are the things that you think about, bro. These are the things
you're like, Mo, just hold it, bro. Hold it, man. The next one will get the tap in,
bro. I want the ball back in 10 minutes.
Give me it back.
Not saying I want Mo sold, but we sold Gerrard, Torres, Suarez, Owen, and we kept going. So why can't we do it again if Mo decides to leave? Is there something in your throat? Do you need to get a drink or anything like that?
No, sorry.
Get the man some water.
You need some water, bro.
Sorry.
I'll throw this at ends then. If he does decide to leave, can Liverpool just continue going?
We're
I think
Liverpool
not.
Football Club first and foremost, man. It's what's on the front of the shirt, not what's on the back. Yeah. So yes, there's going to be a moment where we're going to lose Virgil, we're going to lose Allison, we're going to lose Mo, and then the new crop of boys and players are going to come through. So I'm not worried at all, man. Like, obviously, I know how important he is to our team, not from just a goal scoring aspect, but I'm looking at the team, and the team is evolving. There's an evolution, the way we might want to go in the future and the way we want to play. I'm like, you guys brought back Edwards, and you tell me that Edwards look at all of these things and go like, if the guy's aging, can I get the highest value for him? He's one of the guys now. Virgil is is irreplaceable. Mo, I know you can replace, and I'm not saying you can replace him in terms of the numbers that he gets. It's you can get a player that's going to be able to give you not close, but enough to allow us to still compete. And what that means is it could be someone that gets maybe Darwin's number this year. He's got 18 goals and 14 assists. That's not even shouted enough about. That amount of assists and that amount of goals, where sometimes you're rest, sometimes you're not, and a striker that doesn't just stay vocally, he always moves around. That's outrageous, man. If you can get someone that can even get 10 assists and 10 goals, that's enough, bro, because we have enough players that can contribute now and chip in. We don't have a team no more where Henderson don't get goals, Wijnaldum doesn't get goals, Fabinho doesn't get goals, and we only rely upon Trent and Robbo to assist. We're not in a team now where only Mo and Mane score the goals and Bobby's just trying to facilitate everything else. We're no longer there, bro. Now we've got fullbacks that can still create, but we now have midfielders that can score goals and assists, and we now have a plethora of strikers now that can get goals and assists as well in the team. So Mo, we don't heavily need someone like Mo in the team in the revamp and the rebuild. That's all I'm going to say.
And
we need him until the end of the season.
Yes,
of course.
definitely.
We can't sell him now. Go on,
Yeah, we need him.
This is what I'm going to say then.
And I love Mo. Sorry, Kwasi. I love Mo Salah just because I know man will say I hate him. I don't hate him. I love him.
No, we know them men with the agendas, propagandas. But honestly, I'm going to say this. If it comes to the most important people to leave the club right now, Mo is 5th on my list.
5th?
He's 5th.
Brother,
I'm going to be honest.
The list
I'll tell you. I'll give you one. One is the manager. The manager is more important than all of them because the manager made them where all of them are. Number two is Allison with his injury self. Allison is so important. People last year we would have been worse than where we were if he didn't do some of the things.
Allison wasn't in goal last season.
But after watching Kelleher this season, how important is he?
Still
Kelleher, no near. That's the thing. You don't get the Barcelona, you never live alone song if Allison do not save the Napoli shot. Okay. Number three is Virgil.
Okay.
Number 4, Trent. And then number 5, Salah.
Well, I keep the Playboy Trent, bro. You know what I mean?
You can't let him go. I understand. He's a frustrating character, but you got to keep him. Can you top it? Let me put you in a spot, G.
Go on.
Since you are a pro Salah and we are anti Salah, who are the top 5 people that worries you if they leave at Liverpool?
Virgil, Allison, Salah.
In the particular order, or
no. I'm just trying to name names off the top of my head. Virgil, Ali, Salah. I'll be honest. Outside of those 3, I feel like you can get rid of everybody else and just replace them. I don't feel like the rest of them are, oh my days, if you got rid of Trent, Liverpool would be because I'm like, nah. I think that Liverpool under a new manager, I don't know, by the way, but under a new manager, either Trent won't even be in that right back position anyway, or you won't necessarily need what he brings to the team because the team
Right.
can play in a different way. So not to say he's not a fantastic player, I just don't see him as that pivotal that if he was to leave, I'd be like, oh my God, Liverpool are so much worse off. I'd be like, nah, not really, because even if you wanted to play with a flat back four, you just put another right back in there, calm, no worries. And if you wanted someone to kind of do what he does, so to speak, you've got quite a few players in the team who can kind of do that anyway. Maybe not to the degree that he can do it at. And I think that's almost like what you guys are saying with Salah in terms of you may not find someone to directly replace them, but you can find someone to replace them, so to speak. That's how I see Trent. I've always seen Trent that way. So yeah, I only have 3. Outside of that, everyone else, bro, you can go, and I wouldn't be crying about it. I'll just be like, all right, well, if you're gonna sell Trent, you need to get a good replacement. I ain't trying to see no dibby dabby player, no run of the mill type of guy, kind of thing. McAllister, who's the endos, there's the Bozalides. I'll be like, yeah, I mean, you could replace those. They're like a dime a dozen. There's bare midfielders like these guys. So it's just about whether then they could play to what the manager would want them to do. So yeah, there's only 3 for me. I don't have 5, unfortunately.
And you wanna?
If I had my way, no particular order. The manager, I don't mind at the moment. To be fair, I want to see what the future
Because he's
holds.
going though, so I couldn't really.
He's going anyway. Yeah.
So I think I want to see what the future holds in that aspect. Virgil, 100%.
Yeah. Agreed.
Ali.
Yep.
I definitely add Trent in there, man. Yeah, I want to see what he does in the midfield, bro. I can't even lie.
He might be
just
playing
imagine.
right. We don't even know. Bro.
I know, bro. But I just imagine a world where this man steps in there, man. For me, and I know not everyone's gonna agree, and I could be on this island on my own, which is fine. I think he has the tools, bro, to be one of the best, and I think he has the tools to cause damage if he was in that role in the midfield. But if we ever get there one day, we'll see what that looks like. But yeah, him, Ali, Virgil, Ibu, I would add to that as well, and Jota.
Oh wow, that's a left field one. That's a left field one. Guys in the chat, let us know who your 5 is. We'll go through the last couple of questions and then we'll get into the formation and then we'll head out of here and keep it nice and short on a Friday evening. Angel 1968. 1 word answer: sell or keep Salah at the end of the season.
Sell.
Quietly. Well,
sorry. Jumped the gun. My bad.
It doesn't.
Sorry.
We know. You said it so fast. We know you now have an agenda. So that's fine. That's all I needed. That's what I needed. Angel saying, seriously, if you win the Premier League, why would we want to change the system? Very good question.
Great point. Because we no longer have the same manager. So the new manager, if we had the same manager, then great point. Like, why would we need to change it? It's cold. But we always have to evolve because teams will figure out how you play. So you always have to tweak it slightly. So I think with a new manager coming in, which is going to be good, it just means we're going to be very unpredictable as well. Because teams are going to look at what they've seen at their old club, but at the same time, they're going to look at the reference points, but not with our players. Yeah. So they won't know roughly how we're going to play, and I'm sure the new manager will tweak it as well. I think it's just because of the new manager.
Kwasi?
Hopefully there won't be too many more. Sorry about that. This is the thing that I said last time and tried to corner me with the same question. I say if you don't sell him, you have to renew his contract because he has to retire at Liverpool. You can't just keep him 1 year and then let him go. If he stays, you have to give him what he needs to be able to stay for the rest of his career at Liverpool. And, I think Savage was like, nah, I don't want to give him any more money. I'm like, then why are you keeping him?
You're talking about Salah. You're talking about Salah.
Yeah, Salah, yeah.
Oh, no. The question that Angel's saying, if we were to obviously win the Premier League, why would we change the system?
If you don't change, you become stagnant, and the rest of the league will find a new route. I mean,
No,
Klopp
I
and
hear it.
even Klopp and Pep they have not been consistent. They've been changing and tweaking as they go. Yes, the philosophy is the same. So when you look at it, you think like, oh, they play the same. No, things have changed.
No, I feel you. Big up RJ in the building, guys. Please make sure you're smashing the like button. I haven't even looked at it anyway, but like check 1, 2. Big up Flawless. I have to steal that line there. Please make sure you're smashing that like button. It does help out all channels. Just 2 seconds, smash the like button. There's over 45 of you in here as well, both from Twitter and on YouTube. So make sure
Big
you
up the Twitter gang.
Yeah, come on, man. The Twitter gang, it's been crazy these days, man. I blame Ends for the craziness over there.
Yeah, man.
RJ, how about we stop inverting and let our fullback stay even 10 yards back? Don't you think that would make a difference?
I think so, bro. But I'm not the gaffer of Liverpool Football Club. So, but I would love to just see them just do the defensive stuff and allow the midfielders to do the midfielder stuff. But it's just the way systems work and football's evolving, in it. So the days have gone where the fullbacks are fullbacks, man. I know there's some teams that their fullbacks are just fullbacks, but for the top teams, your requirement is a lot more because a lot other teams are going to sit back, so you're going to have to add more bodies forward. There's no point if you having 5 man sitting back when the team has all their players in one half. You're going to have to push people on to try and create spaces and stuff. So,
Yeah. You know, the beautiful game is more beautiful when it's simple now. These days, there's so much intricate that you think that the managers are literally playing FIFA. You know, you have to do this, you have to do that. I get what he's trying to say, but then I'm looking at Liverpool playing Man U, and we didn't invert. And they purposely put 2 players on the midfields and the center back, so we could not pass from the back until Joey went and inverted. Then we added an extra person for it to be able to move.
man, like quasi-tactical analysis. I love it.
You know what I mean? So, so the thing is, the question is, when do you and when you don't? That it is for me. You know, certain managers, Pep and Klopp especially, they stay the same no matter what. What happened to the managers that, hey, something is wrong, change it? You know, they change as the game go. They will go in, not the formation, but the tactics. They will change 2, 3 tactics in the same game. We're gone are those days where, just like what I just said, you try it, it works, they change, you change, and you keep going with the same formation. So yes, I would like to see the old days where everybody do what they're supposed to do, but now you got these people are playing with 11, and sometimes it feels like they got 15 men on the field. You know, so
I agree. And you're both saying it anyway. Football's evolving, but I also hear it. I'm a bit like Ends. Can we go a bit back to old school and just your defender, just defend. Your midfielder, you do the midfield stuff, and then your forwards, you do the forward things. But I agree with you, Quasi. It is an evolving game regardless anyway. So we kind of are in that kind of space. Question for the panel. Big up honestly again. Robbo is the defender with the most assists of all time in the Premier League, but a lot of fans are saying sell Robbo. He really don't add to the team anymore. Is that a bit over the top? So question I'll ask you both to like kind of sum that all up. Would you sell Robbo at the end of the season? Yes,
no chance.
No, I won't, because I think even watching the game yesterday, I think he's going to be more influential than Joey and Simicas right now.
Do you know the problem I noticed, G, as well? Yeah, and I know it probably doesn't go for everyone, but what I have noticed is as soon as a player has a good performance in one position, it's get rid of him, get rid of the other guy that's been, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
get rid of him. And I know, you know, people are going to say, well, you want to get rid of Mo. Yeah, but that's for different reasons. Not because I don't think he can't play there. It's just, I think, for the betterment of the team. But Gomez playing and filling in for Robbo doesn't mean that Robbo isn't the best option for left back. Do you know what I mean? That's not what it means. You noticed yesterday when Robbo was on, the balance of the team was better. We didn't have to go
Mhm.
cut inside, and there was no overlap. As soon as that, Robbo was just up and down, overlapping, getting the ball into the box. Can't sell that guy, bro. Like,
And that's what I'm saying. You know, the thing is, maybe we could bring a younger version of Robo or
Mm.
a different slide, same as Robo.
got Simicas,
And we got Simicas
How old
too.
is he? How old is
We
he?
got
27,
Simicas,
I think.
Okay.
you know, and because yesterday when Robo came in, you could see, okay, that's the dude, you know. And I think moving forward, we can keep the same player, but we can bring somebody who could give us a different dimension. And that's why a lot of people don't get, well, and says, I want Salah to do different things. It doesn't mean that Salah is not good enough. We're just saying, based on what is happening, you can't keep doing what you used to do 7 years ago because everybody knows that Salah. And then you're not that young anymore. So what else can you do to affect the game? Hence the reason why Messi, Ronaldo were so alien because they evolved for about 10 years straight.
Put
Not
Mo
too
in the
many.
10, we can keep him.
Say that again.
Move Mo as a second striker in the 10, and we can keep him.
We'll get to that formation in a second. Big up realism. This is the last one, and then we'll get into the formation. I know you guys want to see this Amarim bull. Cole Palmer had 21 goals and 11 assists. Do you think City regret selling him? I'll start and say, with how the season has panned out, yes. I think they would have looked at it now and said, we probably could have used someone like that in the team
Ooh.
in a general sense. But he couldn't give him the minutes and that he wanted. So now he's gone away. Go on then.
And real quick,
No, sorry.
I have a quick. I was looking yesterday. I was watching. I watched the game again, right? And I have made a question about England. I think Cole Palmer, Foden, and even Madison, and even Jude. To me, they all kind of ISO players. Iverson type of player. And I was sitting, I was like, you know, the player that England need right now, who is a maverick, is Curtis Jones.
But if he wasn't injured, because he would have definitely been picked for those friendlies.
Because yes, Kobe is good, but Kobe's not there yet. He's gonna go find some. Yeah, he's not there yet. When you go to Euro and you take him, he's gonna get found out. Jones is those press resistant players, right? He can go ISO if you let him, but if you coach him properly, he could cause a lot of problems because when the ball comes to him, he slows everything down. Okay, now Jude, you do what you need to do. Because I was watching England and Belgium, and it felt like ISO. Jude gets the ball, he wants to do the same thing Foden is doing. And to me, I don't want to disrespect him, but it looks more like Raheem Sterling. When you get the ball, they just want to go, just keep going. But to answer the question, Palmer, I think Spurs needs to make a play at him.
I don't think he's going to leave. I don't think he will leave right now.
But Chelsea needs to sell a few players. If I was Spurs, I would make a play at him because he brings you back to what Song used to be back in the day.
No, he's a good. I like Palmer. Go on then, sir. Before we get
no, it's all good, bro. I'm locked in now with this one.
All right. So this is the formation. And big up, by the way. I see there's a few more questions. Once we're done the formation, I'll get through the last couple, but I really wanted to get into this system. So we kind of know Amarim, he plays like a 3-4-2-1. That was kind of what Tom was explaining to us in the spaces and things like that. 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3 as they got up here, but obviously I'll move the players into the positions once we put them in there. So I've put in two players who are, in my opinion, guaranteed to be in the team, regardless of if we play 10 at the back, 1 at the back, and rush goalie. It's going to be Alisson and Van Dijk. I've left everybody else out because I do want to go through this with the guys. You guys in the chat as well, let me know. Maybe there's a player out there that you think, let me sign this guy instead. He would be the guy, and I'm talking realistic signings that we think Liverpool probably would make. we're looking at the defense. Are you guys happy that I've got Virgil in the middle of that back three?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Left and right side.
Konate. Right.
Konate on the right. No worries, Quasi. No worries. So you're saying Konate on the right hand side. I'm good with that. What about the left hand side?
I think that's what we need to buy.
Okay. So
Juan
that's
Carlo and Inacio would be the one for me.
You'd put Inacio. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He'd probably be a very good choice. I can't really think necessarily, especially if it's Amarim. He knows him. He knows what he can do. One thing I will say, though, is something that I notice is, other than Ten Hag, and that's probably why he's messing up right about now, most managers never really sign players that they like. If you realize Klopp and Pep, they never signed anybody that they worked with before at any previous club. I've always liked that about those two. I've always actually liked, because I've always thought, you know, you've shown that you can do it with other players, not just the same players that you've had.
Do you know what it is? I think it's an arrogance thing as well sometimes. Like, what do you mean you don't want to sign these men? Like, they're good players. Sign them, bro. You need them now. Do you mean? I think he would sign him because we're crying out for a left-footed centre half. So I think right age profile as well from his team. He knows him very well. He's 21, 22 now. Strong, you know, in centre back. Got a decent bit of speed with him. I know his aerial ability, in terms of the numbers, don't look great, but he's for me, I think that's fine. He's tall enough, and I'm sure he'll be better. You know, he would have to be better anyway playing in the Premier League. But when we're talking about running out and carrying the ball, he's got a bit of Daniel Agger in him.
Oh yeah. Okay. Daniel Agger would be good in this system. I can't even lie.
Bro, Dan Agger. Oh my God.
Daniel Agger would 100% be good in this system. All right, so we move on to the midfield, or whatever you want to kind of call it. We'll start off with the right side. Who you put in there in this right midfield kind of position, or right wing back, however you want to kind of put it?
It would probably be Trent. I think that's a midfield role. It's not the inside role he's probably looking for, but that's a midfield role.
No. I feel you.
The license is there to go and go and create.
No. I feel you. What about the left hand side then?
I think it still would be Robbo, man. I can't see him changing it. Unless
Robbo
there's another left back out there. I know the names are like Robinson and Ait Nori. Those are the kind of two names I've seen Liverpool fans or some of the little outlets talking about. But Robbo, man, he can do that job up and down, and with the cover as well. Oh man.
I think this gives them a lot more license to be able to kind of, as you say, do their thing. So who knows? And to be honest, in this kind of system, you can still get. Let me see if I can get up. You can still get Trent still doing this anyway, or forming back into here as an example, because you've still got the three at the back who are stationed as a three at the back, not stationed as a four that have to go into a three. I feel like there's always going to be a difference when you do that. Sorry.
Correct. No, I'm saying even if you don't even have to move Trent as such, the guy that's in the middle, so your right-sided 8, whoever, which I think will be McAllister.
Yeah, same.
If we get to there. So McAllister can then still do that job that you're asking about. He can then drop in to that pocket, and then Trent can then shift across slightly, and then there you go. You still have him inverting there if you needs be. I don't think you will, but if you needed to for an extra runner.
Quick question.
Oh yeah,
with the these new managers, personally, I believe that 4-3-3 is played out. These new managers are going with in 3-4-3, but they play different, right? I think it's more 3-4-2, 3-4-2-1.
Yeah, like Brentford played that kind of system.
Exactly. Yeah. So that means if that's what he's doing, then yes, the two in the middle, you have Endo and McAllister.
Just before you continue, though, would it be, and like McAllister, I think is a dead cert, especially because of the way he's playing, you can't. Right. Why would he get dropped? Do you think we look at another? Because obviously we've got so many midfielders anyway, and if this is the kind of formation that we are playing, so if it's 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, however you want to however you guys want to kind of play it, having someone like Endo, Curtis Jones, Zabozalai, Gravenberch, Bajcetic, that's 5 places for kind of really one spot when we deep.
I was gonna say that. So I was gonna say Bajcetic because he's more defensive than all of them.
I would put next to McAllister, I would put Curtis.
I was thinking you push Curtis a little bit up front.
No, Curtis in
Or
there,
what, in that kind of 2 role?
The 2 behind them, because
the
then he plays his natural number 10 role.
Okay,
that's 2 other dummies that can do that.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because the thing is, if you need a defense like a natural defensive midfielder beside McAllister.
Hold on,
Because
but we're not even mentioning Sabozalai. Like we just kind of
Oh,
bypass.
Sabozalai.
Worry, man, they got space and that left.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was gonna push. I will push Sabozalai way up front because personally, I think Sabozalai.
I'm gonna put Jones for now. Because I think when everybody is fit and next season, I just see. But what you're saying, Kwasi, and I feel like what Ends is about to tell me now, once I push the formation properly, that's also what I was thinking, that Jones could potentially be one of the 2. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a sec. Up front, we'll do up front first.
Nunes.
Yeah, well, no, Diogo Jota, like
Nunes. You heard what the people said.
Jota is gonna be the what they call it, the closer.
Nah, that's a disrespectful kind of title, like the closer. Like, so you're just in here to just come on for
That's
your
a great job, bro. You're the one that gets everything done and sealed and signed and delivered.
Thank you. I mean,
why can't he be the one that we trust from the beginning?
Because sometimes you don't need to be the one to soften them up, bro. Darwin will do that job for us. Soften them up, and then Jota will just slide through and say, "Listen, just sign on the dotted line, man. You know, great deal for you guys. You guys
Sugnite showing up,
man. Just sign this deal, man. You're good."
All right, so we're gonna obviously here is wingers, but we'll put them. I'll put the 2 behind them.
Yeah, that's where they'll go.
I have a feeling you've got Zobo on the left-hand side.
I'll put Zobo on the right.
On the right.
Left.
You put on the left?
I would have thought you'd be more on the left-hand side. Yeah.
I see.
Told you what the new manager wants, bro. The new manager.
Yeah.
New manager is gonna want, bro.
That's true.
All right, go on. Who's the right side?
So
you wouldn't sign someone else to play in that position?
We need players, obviously. We'll sign them, but at the moment, Javier.
You saying? Okay, cool.
It's very hard for me to challenge it. But
so that's how Ins is saying is the 2 behind being Elliot and Zobo.
Where Javi is, I would choose Jones. I think Jones could also play there.
And but then you would have put Bajcetic in the middle.
Beautiful thing, bro. Beautiful thing about this, they're clever enough to swap. Sobo can even drop in a double pivot if you need Harvey to drop in there. They can interchange. They're clever enough and smart enough. And what you've now left as well, G, see them wing backs? Yeah, blood. Problems now. Floating. Then it becomes a 3-2-4-1.
Yep.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, literally. 3-2.
You got your control. You got your ultimate control in Jones and Mac. Madness, bro. So he always leaves. What I love about these type of formation, it leaves 5 back and it leaves 5 forward.
Maybe Amarim might be the guy then. I don't know. Maybe I might do a video on Amarim, like, and check him out real quick. Maybe I have to just.
And then you know those little spaces in behind the fullbacks, right? Normally we get punished because there's no one there, but because if we play with the 3, they don't even have to do that. The 3 can. Yeah, there you go. I can squeeze and close that space if needs be.
Yeah.
So there's no real gaps to play triangles because we create our own triangles with it.
Well, yeah, look, he's got Kanate, McAllister, Trent.
So then they would match up. So if their winger goes Kanate, their fullback goes Trent, and their 8 goes into McAllister. That's the triangle I was talking about earlier where Mo doesn't track back and we get killed all the time in that.
Maybe Tom was on to something with this style still. You know what's mad? I've never really looked at it like I've never done the team myself. I've just seen like one or two other ones, and I've heard people talk about it. But now I'm looking at the players in these positions. I feel like the only positions I'm looking at where I'd say
You might
maybe
need Elliot's side.
yeah, Elliot, yeah, someone in Elliot's position. If you go with the Curtis Jones in the middle, I would think, yeah, maybe someone else that I would sign. In fact, there's definitely someone I would sign.
Do you not think Jota could go in there?
I think he could go in there.
I think Jota can be there. Gravenberch can play.
Gravenberch, I feel like he probably prefer to play in a position like that.
100%.
Because it's less responsibility on the defensive end, where he's not obviously whatever. But even still, I feel like the type of player and technical guy that he is anyway in those positions, when he gets the close ball control right, it does look good, and he's actually good at it. Yeah. So
now, check this out though. You know the guy in Germany. There's two guys in Germany actually.
There's one guy in Germany we need. There's just one.
Okay, I know Musiala, right? That's the one you talking about.
That's the only one that you need in this position.
Musiala, where Elliot is.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't tell me that Trent, McAllister, like Robbo's another position, by the way. I think if you can get someone else, but
does I say you might need a younger version? You might need a younger person.
I'd get like a younger version of Robbo. But Musiala, Bozalai, and Nunes, even I would be like, all right, cool, yeah, he's got a target. Because Musiala likes to play through balls in. Harry Kane doesn't always make that run, so that you always notice that's why they're always playing 1-2s, because he makes that run more often than not. He'll make that off the ball run, or he'll make that run once Harry Kane gets the ball. He don't need to do that now. He can play those passes, but guess what? Trent can also play the passes if he needs to.
Balanced as well, bro. The balance is crazy.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I was wrong about him.
You're gonna get Sobol in those areas all the time, and then Musiala dropping shoulders, Robbo and Trent on the overlap.
Did you know Musiala just slotting that play? Don't piss me off, man.
And then McAllister and Curtis, the ultimate control. And then if you're getting bored, bro, Besetic, Wataru. Bro,
I think you play Besetic and Wataru in games where we need a bit more. Yeah, exactly. I think Besetic and Wataru, you play those in games where it's like, we do need to, like, the team are very good potentially on the counter, or they're a team who like to get in behind quite a lot. You play those two to just shore it up and be like, hey.
Then, do you know what you then do? You put Mac in for Musiala in that spot there. If you're going to go shore up, and then you can move Curtis and Mac further forward and then just change them. But then on the bench, you're like, I'll just bring Musiala and Sobo and Gravers and the rest of the man them if we need them, the Jotas, the Diaz, and...
No, people are saying we're going to struggle. Well, no, next year, if Virgil already plays in the back three, so he's already accustomed to that.
Virgil plays in the back one, bro.
I was going to say, it's literally always like this, usually by the end of it. Like, they're usually somewhere here, and he's just...
G is worse now, because I'm now seeing, I don't know why, in the last 2 games, I've seen Virgil run on behind the fullback.
Yeah.
Why is he traveling so far up, bro? He played a 1-2 and this went. I'm like, Verge, listen.
Chill, my bro.
Yeah, bro. Bro, there was even one moment I saw, who was that centre back? Was it McAllister and Elliot? I'm like, wait. Where's my 2 centre halves, bro?
You start asking questions, boy. Like, what's going on? Why is everyone out of position? Nah, listen, man. So one thing that I'm noticing from this team, the title of the video, we're talking about Salah. I don't see Salah. I've not even heard you mention Salah once. So yeah, I'm just wondering. So we don't even think Salah could. I can't lie. I would. Musiala is the only player I would think off the top of my head I would replace him for. But let's just say Salah was to stay here. Like, Salah can't play alongside like a Musiala in a 2, and then. He's always talking about the number 10 position and like,
G.
He's too selfish. I'll put him away. Do
you know what though? Do you know what, Kwasi? Because I think if he plays in this role, he understands now. He's the facilitator now. He knows it's not about me. It's about the number 9 that's up there. So our job now is to create where we need to. And then if there's little half chances, little, you know what I mean, little open space, we'll get shots away as well, man. We'll get our goals. But the main job is to create, look for the overload with Robbo flying down and Trent. Yeah, bro, he can play in that role. And not only that, it would unlock him more because when Mo is central, he's difficult to pick up. Teams struggle against him that way.
Right.
And you notice he beats his players a lot better when he's central. When he's out wide, he doesn't.
Right.
Might be just really a thing about angles. That's it. Listen, look, I can't lie. Looking at that lineup and everything, for me, it's a cold lineup, man. It's a cold lineup. Guys, big up everybody who's obviously still here. We're about to wrap it up soon. Just go through the last couple of questions, and then we will head out of here. Dustin, this is for you, Ends. He said, when is quiz day, man? Yes, when is quiz?
Big up to Dustin, bro. The problem is, bro, it's my fault, to be fair. If I make it, I'm sure I'll get the guys and they'll jump on. It's just so much going on, bro, and it's hard to find the space when to do it. Because the people I like to get onto the quiz are content creators themselves, which they're always busy as well. So I'm always thinking about when are they going to be free? What's the best day to do it? What's the best time? Because I think if you get a consistent panel, it makes it even more fun because then you get used to, oh yeah, G's going to be on, Quasi's going to be on, Savage is going to, so you get used to the people being on instead of it keep changing. And the way that I had in mind for it was, if you finish last, you get relegated and we get someone else in that week for your position. And then we continue to do it that way.
That's mad, you know. I said you can't come back next week. You know?
Yeah, you have to. You get relegated from it. And because it's general knowledge and it's not around football, it makes it better because we talk about football all the damn time, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm trying to plan the time and look, the season's nearly finished soon as well, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
I
think
season is
the
best.
summer as well. Once that kind of kicks in and it's not match with day after like 3 days, every 3-4 days or whatever, you'll definitely have the time and space because you know all we're gonna be seeing is transfer news and Liverpool gonna sign Kylian Mbappe and all of that stuff. So let's just
you know that deal is not finished though. I don't want to start rumors, but it seems like the man is starting to have second thoughts.
Quasi statement from Quasi. Kylian Mbappe looks like he's heading to Liverpool. His head has been turned by the new manager. He's had a conversation with him. He likes the plans, the project that he's got moving forward. So he looks like he wants to join. Off topic. Big up honesty. Off topic question, but Saka and Foden are getting a lot of praise, but Cole Palmer is carrying a shit Chelsea. Why doesn't Palmer get the same type of hype?
He just got here. Let him do it in 2 more years, and then we'll be like, yes, Saka and Foden, they've been in the trenches and now they're here. So you gotta respect that. Palmer is a baller though. But the thing also that I see is Palmer, sometimes when he plays those big games, he disappears.
He does to a certain degree. Just get ends back in there. You there, bro? Oh yeah.
I think my my computer's moving crazy, bro.
No, it's all good. We're nearly done. Anyway, I'll get through the last question. Don't you all on the panel think it's imperative we keep 5 of our UCL and Premier League winning team, a bit like Modric, Cruz, Benzema, etc.? Good question. I think that's a good question. I'll go to you, Ends, first. What do you think? Like, do you think we should be keeping like a core base? So Trent, Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson, Robertson.
I would love to, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's not like the other teams have improved from the Champions League. Apart from like Real Madrid, the other teams ain't that good still, bro. The other teams ain't that good. So even if we were to lose one of them, we can easily replace them. In my opinion. Real Madrid got rid of all their players and they're still competing in it.
Yeah, for real.
Do you know what I mean? Modric and Cruz are the last ones left, bro, and they're going to be out by the end of this season. So,
Quasi, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I agree. The thing is also we have to look at how both teams, their longevity is. La Liga, they do very well to accommodate for teams to be able to play other competitions. EPL, FA, English FA, I mean, the EPL doesn't do that. They always worry about TV channels and time time frame, time schedule. So if you had Modric, Cruz, and Benzema in the EPL, their legs would be way more tired than if they were in La Liga.
True.
So you have to also put that. And like we were saying earlier, does that mean you bring Salah off the bench?
I feel like this is always coming back to Salah regardless, but
This is topic.
no. Let me just quickly change this before we head out. But look, guys, I just want to say big up to you guys on the panel. Big up Ben as well. Obviously, had to head out.
Big up, Ben.
It was a good conversation, man. Good topic. You know, I love these kind of conversations. I feel like we're going to be having this conversation again at some point, potentially at the end of the season, depending on how things, of course, pan out for Liverpool. But we'll put a pin in it, and potentially a part 2 might be coming, especially if that £200 million bid comes into play. I think a part 2 really will be coming into effect real soon. Kwasi,
yes, sir.
chat to the people, let them know what you've got coming up. Before you even get into that, guys, his is in the description, so you don't even have to do anything. It's already there. All you got to do is click it. It will take you onto a different page, and then you just need to hit the subscribe button. But Kwasi, man, let people know, man, what you got popping.
I'm possibly gonna have something cooking for later on tonight.
Cool.
You know, we are always in the barbershop, so come through and have a conversation with us. So we'll see. But Sunday
I'll be
for
on the
sure.
train. I'm definitely gonna have this conversation. I'm gonna be in the comments causing havoc, bro. You know me.
Yeah, last time we were waiting for you, and you decided to, you ducked your head. You were like, "Nah, I'm not coming." You know. So we had to we had to send a plane to go get Hollywood over here to substitute for you. So, but Sunday for sure, after the game, we will have a conversation. So please come through.
Cool. And your search again is in the description. But he's also, I think both him and Kwasi actually are on my featured channel pages as well, by the way, people.
Yes.
So anytime you guys want to head on over there, just take a look. Everyone, only the people I care about are on there. So Kwasi and
big up.
definitely on there regardless. So yeah, check it out.
Right.
But yeah, sorry, Ends, go on.
Nah, it's all good, my bro, man. Endsman TV, guys, you already know, man. Back tomorrow for the preview for the Man United game. So guys, come across, tune into that one. And then we do the call-in show, man, after every game. So Sunday after the game, we're there, me and Savage. You guys call in, rival fans call in, Liverpool fans call in, and we chop it up, man, and have a great conversation. I think I am around later as well on Flawless's channel.
What time's he doing it? I think I know.
I think 10:30.
To 10:30. Okay.
10:30,
If I'm back in time, then yeah, I'll be in there. But either way, I'll try and jump in if I can jump in.
Listen, guys, just subscribe to the channels, man. You guys already know, man. We try our best to make sure we bring you the best content, and we bring it with a hint of vibes and, you know what I mean, not too much agendas. I know you guys probably thought my takes today are as agendas, but it's not. Just something I've looked at and I thought it makes sense, bro. To me, maybe not make sense to others. Maybe it's going to take 6 months, maybe 2, maybe a year, and then people might come around. I was trying to tell man, you know, Salah should be in the 10. They told me no. So now he needs to be at the team then. See what happens.
Let end the saying by force. It will happen by force regardless. But now, big up Ends, big up Kwasi, big up Ben as well, who was, of course, in the chat. Guys, is Mo Salah the exception to the rule? Let me know if you're watching this on the playback. Please let me know what you think in regards to that. I'm G, and we are out.